Alright, so for this last problem, we're going to do an MCAT problem. And so the MCAT problem looks something like this. So the question reads, if the temperature of 10 grams of granite starts at 20 degrees Celsius, what is the final temperature if it loses 240 joules? So this problem is difficult for several reasons. First of all is I'm asking you for the final temperature, and I'm telling you the start temperature. You're also given the mass, so I'm going to define this as the mass, and this is T1. And one of the reasons this one's difficult is because this one says it loses 240 joules. This is my Q, except it's a negative number because it's losing it. So when I set up my equation, I get Q equals mc delta T, is the MCAT equation. We're going to go ahead and plug in a Q of negative 240 joules. Why negative? Because it is losing this amount of heat. We also know the mass is 10 grams. We also know a specific heat. What is the specific heat I will use? Go ahead and get my highlighter here. And it says it is granite. So if you look on the table here, granite has a value of 0.8, which is what we will use. So I'll plug in here 0.8 joules per grams degrees Celsius times my delta T. So let's see if we can cancel out any of these units. Let's try a different color here. Joules cancels, we have grams canceling. This should leave me a final answer of degrees Celsius. So to solve this problem, we're going to divide everything out. So I'm going to divide this side by 10. I'm also going to divide this side by 10. This drops off. I'm also going to divide this side by 0.8 and also this side by 0.8. So what am I going to type into my calculator? It's going to look like this. Negative 240 divided by 10, then divided by 0.8. And this is going to be my delta T. So when I do this and solve this, when I solve this, I get 30. And what's my unit? The only unit that did not get crossed off is degrees Celsius. So this tells me my delta T is 30 degrees Celsius. But we forgot something. We have a negative thing here. So it's actually a negative 30 degrees Celsius. And this is my delta T. So the question asks, what is the final temperature? So we still need to solve for that. The way this works is you take your starting temperature, let's call this T start, and it undergoes a delta, and then it becomes something called a T final. So let's plug in what we know. We know that the start temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. I also know my delta T is negative 30, so it means I'm losing 30 degrees Celsius. My final temperature in this case would be 20 losing 30. It would be a negative 10 degrees Celsius. So this is my final answer.